Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Dr. Drew Podcast. I want to thank our friends at Candid for supporting the show. I'm going to tell you a little bit more about them later, but right now, let's get on with the show. Hi, I'm Dr. Drew, and this is Dr. Drew After Dark. Please be advised that Dr. Drew After Dark may contain sexually oriented content and be unsuitable for young children. And welcome, everybody, to another Dr. Drew After Dark. We appreciate you being here. Of course, we appreciate all the great questions you're sending in. They've been fantastic. Send them into Dr. Drew After Dark at Gmail, DRDREW After Dark. And the voice messages, which have been spot on, 818-253-1693, 818-253-1693. And let's get right to my guest, Ryan Sickler. Ryan, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Good to have you. Congratulations
great to be
on
here.
Honeydew.
Thank you.
It's fantastic.
I would love for you to come on.
I'm going to. Don't you worry. I saw Christina last week. It was hysterical.
I think it would be really empowering for people to hear you talk about the times you really felt like a honeydew and we laugh about it.
I feel like a honeydew. I have very low self-esteem, so it's really easy for me to go right there.
You're in comedy. It makes sense you have low self-esteem.
But I've always been of the opinion. See, esteem gets set about age 5, right? Your esteem just goes. It's just like there's two settings. It's positive or it's negative. Like it's a valence. And some people have a lot of positive. Some people have a lot of negative. I had a lot of negative, and it gets set through all the childhood stuff as usual. And it made me work hard. You know, it was sort of an asset through my life. Now, it was troubling until I went to therapy because I actually felt bad in addition to having low self-esteem. Now I have low self-esteem and I don't care. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's like I don't give a shit.
Yes.
And so low self-esteem is just an orientation now that checks me. In other words, if something bad happens, my immediate impression is, well, I must have something to do with this. So what did I do? What can I do better? Blah, 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 blah. It's just, which is great. I have no problem with that. Where it becomes a liability is sort of the opposite of the Dunning-Kruger effect. You ever heard of Dunning-Kruger?
No.
Dunning-Kruger, have I talked about that before here on the show?
Yeah, I think we talked about it.
Yeah, Dunning-Kruger is sort of Dr. Dunning and Dr. Kruger came up with this model. It's sort of a cognitive distortion that allows people to do things like get up on American Idol and sing like shit and say, aren't I great? Isn't that great?
But they actually believe they're great or they're doing it for the attention?
They believe they're great.
Okay.
I have the opposite of that, which is the imposter effect, which is you can know a lot and feel like I really don't know that much. And because
What's in between that? Because I feel like that's where
in between is healthy. In between is good.
Okay, good.
But the imposter, it works against me because I always assume that if I can do something or if I know something, hey, it's me that knows it, so everybody must know it. It's like if I know it, certainly everybody else knows it. And that can make me look sort of not arrogant so much as just sort of, I guess, arrogant. Dismissive, or sort of where I should be like trying to explain something to people. I'm just like, yeah, you got it.
Here fun goes Dr. Drew.
Yeah, it's like, he's like,
what you're worried about that?
No, don't worry about it. It just I have to be careful because if I'm trying to get something across to people, I want them to get it. I don't, as opposed
not
to
feel
me,
like you're just
as opposed to me going, you get it, you know.
Yeah,
it's like I know it, so you know it. It's like no. So tell me about you. You grew up where? Baltimore.
I'm originally from Baltimore. Grew up out in the county after a while. Come from split divorced parents.
So how old were you when they split?
Well, 5th grade. After 5th grade. Well, they were falling apart by 3rd grade-ish.
And by falling apart, what was happening?
My mom was cheating on my dad, and it all came out in the wash.
What happened?
By the way, I'm a twin. Just want to throw it in there because I know
identical or
fraternal?
Yeah. Male or female?
Male.
Okay.
Yeah. So let's see. What'd you ask? What happened?
How'd that come out?
My dad was worked for Pan Am as a crew chief at National Airport, Ronald Reagan now, back then. Commuting from Baltimore, no cell phones, none of that stuff back then. My mom was a stay-at-home mom who got bored and took a job at a convenience store close to the area where we lived.
She got bored, but she had how many kids?
3 kids.
And just
decided
I'll work at a package store? Work at a packy?
We'll get there, Dr.
Okay,
We'll
get
there. I'll probably be laying down on this table in fucking 10 minutes. So she takes this job, ends up meeting this older man there that worked there.
But I'm wondering if that already wasn't happening. It's kind of a weird thing to leave 3 kids to work at a package store.
It's
7-Eleven.
Yeah, it's exactly what it was, like a local one. You know what I mean? So this happens, and she explains that they're friends at first, which is, now again, keep in mind, you're getting this from the mind of a kid from 3rd to 5th grade. This is what I was.
Why are you even in? Because you overheard their conversation?
Overheard the yelling and the fighting. Yeah,
okay.
It wasn't kept secret at that point. They both lost their shit, really.
Right.
So we're gathering, and we're also talking to our grandmoms, and they're giving you, they're giving you a little bit, but not. You'll know when you're older. Older. Which is exactly, because everyone's fucking dead now, so I don't know shit. You know what I'm saying? That's why you don't hold that shit close. You know what I'm saying? You got the fucking life secret you took with you.
And by the way, you were 5th grade. I mean, you could understand what the hell's going on.
We knew what was going on. Yeah. And so they end up, she's taking us to his house, all this shit.
Oh, no.
And they split. They finally split.
Now, they drinking or using or anything?
This is what's crazy. So full circle, I've just reconnected with my mother after 25 years, and things are good where they're at right now.
With you and she?
Yes.
Where they're at? Yeah.
Yes. But I said that because I've gone to therapy for years for shit, and I said to her, every therapist has asked that same question: were you using? And she's like, I wasn't. And I said, I've always said I don't think you were.
What about him?
Which makes it crazy. No, my dad wasn't. Not a drinker, not drugs or anything. He died when I was 16.
Were they extra young or something?
They were. Let's see. He died.
It's a little bit crazy that when things are a little bit crazy, you just go, oh, somebody's using here, somebody's doing something.
That's what you think, right?
And
I sat and talked to her. I had asked
young,
every question.
Very, very young.
They were young. They weren't very. I mean, by today's standards, I would say they were. But in the 70s, so what? I'm born 73. He's 42 when I died, so minus 16, 32, 26.
When they get married?
When they had kids. They were married just before that, and they were not expecting to have twins. And I'm sure, I wish my father was here now, because I've always wanted to ask him, like, how the fuck did you do 2 of these at the same time?
I have triplets.
Yeah, I know. It blows me away. Yeah. And, the story goes they wanted children so badly. They weren't having trouble. My mom took fertility pills. Boom. Next thing you know, fraternal twins. I'm sure that put a burden on everything.
Oh, my God, yes, of course.
And, I asked her straight up what it was, and she'll still tell me, like, I said, I've asked so many questions, like, you cheated on dad with this old dude. Like, I go, I've never wanted to give you any credit, but you were an attractive, you could have done if you were going to do that, you could have done so much better for yourself, And she, the best way I can sum up this conversation, it lasted for hours, was I didn't get everything I wanted, but I got everything I needed out of that. Now, she wouldn't own up to all of it. She said, I don't remember this, I don't remember that, but I know you're telling the truth. I've listened to you on podcast. You say the same thing the same way. I know you're not lying. I don't remember it, but I know you're telling the truth. That's what I got out of that.
I'm not quite.
Anything I asked. Why did you cheat on dad?
Anything you asked, you got an honest response, but what? But a smokescreen?
I don't know if that's true or not. I don't know if psychologically she has, repressed it truthfully, or if she just doesn't want to look at me and say, I was a terrible mom. I don't know if she wants to eat that shit sandwich.
What does she say?
She does say she was, now she says, like, I get it. I was terrible.
Oh, she says it.
But she's like, I don't remember that. I don't remember leaving you kids alone. I don't remember letting you fend for yourself. I don't remember beating you. I don't remember these things. But I believe you when you say they happened. That's the response I get.
I get it.
Why'd you cheat on dad? I don't know. You don't know. You were unhappy. I was unhappy. Okay. But to me, going into my therapy, an older dude like that seems to be
dad. Yeah,
bam,
of course. And does she cop any of that?
Well, the funny thing is that we spoke.
And by the older dude is probably like your age at the time.
No, he was older. He was probably in his gray hair, well into gray hair. Well, shit, I got gray hair now.
I do too. Yeah. So
he's probably. I want to say you're right about that, but I think I'd say mid 50s, late 50s, not that old. But when you're younger than 30 something, So I forgot where we were.
So we were saying, her dad stuff. Does she cop to that?
Thank you. one of my favorite games is What Were We Just Talking About?
I got that game all the time.
So I'm walking her through the layouts of every home we've ever lived in, from the time I was 4 years old. And she's like, you're 100% right. Yes, 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 to everything. She remembers, so she says nothing. But then she goes to tell me
remembers
the
the layouts of the houses.
No, this was me. But she did confirm them. Yeah, she did remember those. But then she tells me this story about her, a day with her dad. In, excuse me, in incredible detail. She was 9 maybe, in the car, like all these wonderful things. And I just let her keep going. The whole time I'm thinking, first of all, what a great story and what a great thing to hear from someone who's never even fucking given you any acknowledgement. But how the fuck do you remember that?
Yeah.
And you don't remember any of this.
And this was a good memory or a bad memory?
For her, it was a really good memory, a cherished memory.
And it stood out as the only good memory, or?
It stood out. It may have been the only memory from what I gather, but it was a positive one. So
what were they doing?
They were just running around doing errands or something. He was taking her somewhere and they were just having a really good time and probably got her ice cream or whatever.
Right. Isn't that weird how that, I have one of those memories about my dad too, strangely. It's weird how those memories stick.
Yeah. So they split. My dad at the time goes and lives with my grandmom, his mom. And then we go with my mom for 1 year.
And this is you and your twin brother?
And and I have a younger brother too. It's almost 4 years. 3 boys.
Good boy.
Yeah. So we of course want to see dad.
Yeah.
And we know to us who the bad guy is. We don't want to be with the bad guy, but we get everything that's going on. Fine.
So you're probably making her life miserable.
Oh. So but only, and I'll say this is the truth, only in retaliation. It was never, we were never bad first. Eventually we would just be like, fuck it, and got there. But we were treated so poorly that they started working things out. So my dad decides they're going to get back together again to work things out for the family. So within a year, they decide to do this. So now we all move back into a new house. And it's so strange what you remember. Like that old dude, his house had a smell.
Of course.
And I remember that smell vividly.
Yeah.
And in 7th grade, when we move into this house, my mom and dad are supposed to be working on stuff. And I remember, and I told her this story when we sat down. My dad said, hey, we'll bring some toilet paper home or something. And she brought toilet paper home that was not
with his smell.
But it wasn't even in like the Charmin pack. You know what I mean? It was like one of those individually 4 packs. And I smelled it and I said, Dad, she's still seeing that old man.
Oh.
And he was like, how do you know? And I was like, this toilet paper's from his house. I fucking remember the smell of that guy's house. So I asked her about that. I said, I know you don't remember this incident, but were you seeing him then? She said, yeah, I was.
And so what happens with your dad when you tell him that?
So obviously things go downhill very quickly, and by I think in Maryland the law, I'm not sure. I'm a kid at the time, but I think you have to be separated for a year before you can get a divorce legally. I think it's that.
And you're like 12, 13 at that point.
Yeah, exactly.
Oof.
And
that must have been good.
My fastball's just getting stronger, and you know what I'm saying. I'm ready to go. And my mom decides she's going to move out. So she leaves, and my dad is now raising his boys and working double shifts and, doing all this stuff. And my mom is still seeing my younger brother.
And I'm imagining you guys want to be with Dad at that point.
My younger brother's really torn. My mom was not a good mom to him either, but she did not.
He felt bad. All right.
Yeah.
Got it.
But my twin brother and I were like, yeah, Dad all day.
Yeah.
All day. And not only because he's dad and we're boys, but you've been treating him like shit. Yeah, and it is apparent to us that everyone in the family is like, hey, this shit is not the right thing to do.
Yeah.
So we're now living with my dad, and he ends up, this is 10th grade, I'm 16. He's having some trouble. And I still, to this day, it just bothers me. I wish I could ask. But both my brother and I drove at the same time. And he said, I have a doctor's appointment tomorrow. I'd like you to drive me. And I was like, okay. I was just stoked to drive and get out of school. He never said, why didn't you ask Derek, So we stop and pick up my grandmom, his mom on the way now. We get there, and the doctors tell him, you're having a heart attack right now. And we're right next to Hopkins, and they call over, bring him over. So we go over, and everybody, I told this story, and everybody likes to shit on me on the podcast for this, but I'm driving I'm driving my dad who's having a heart attack just like 3 blocks around him, to this hospital. And he goes, what are you doing? I go, I'm making a left right here. And he goes, it's not this left, it's the next left. Now, I'm 16 and I'm a fucking bullheaded idiot. I'm like, Dad, it's this left. He's like, it's not this left, it's the next. I grew up in this city. It's the next left. I'm like, Dad, it's this left. He's like, it's not this left. I'm like, it is this left. He goes, okay, go ahead. This man's having a heart attack, and said, go ahead, make the left. And I'm saying as soon as I made the left, I knew it was the wrong fucking And he's just like, God damn, he's beating on the dashboard. My grandmother's in the back yelling. I'm new to driving. I'm like, I'm so sorry. And I got to go around the block again. They're waiting for him out front. We get him in, hustle him in. Everybody likes to say I killed my dad. And
did he die that hard?
No. He did not. Thank God.
Could have. Well done.
Yeah. So he's now in ICU. I call my brothers. We tell them what happened. I'm down there.
This is late 70s now?
This is 89.
Oh.
This is 89. I'm born in 73. This is 89. And, he is released from the hospital. They apparently tell him he has a clot, but he's released. And it was Thanksgiving weekend. We spent the weekend at my aunt's in the city because we just didn't want to travel too far right away. Then we drive back out to our place, and we're off that Monday because it's still a holiday weekend. And my dad's in the kitchen. He's cleaning up some stuff, and we're just talking about like the life changes that are going to be happening moving forward with this heart attack. Like, just I don't need to be stressed out, right? I don't need any of this shit right now. So the crazy part of all this is let me back up just a little bit. My mom and dad go to court for custody of the kids, and I don't go because I've been the black sheep. I've been the one that's been beaten. You're a piece of shit. You're a loser. You'll never buy whatever. My mom's made it clear at that time how she felt about me. I don't need to go to court to hear about it, And they go to court, and my dad brings his mom, my grandmom, and her sister, Aunt Marguerite, roll in with both my brothers, and then my mom and whoever on her side. And they have a female judge. And she says to my father, what do you want? He's like, I want my kids. I want all my kids. But if you're just going to give them to their mother because she's their mother, then I think it's best that they're all together. I think the most important thing is that we keep them together, whether they're with me or not. I don't want to split them up. I don't think that's right. She's like, okay. Ask my mom. And my mom says, I want my youngest, my oldest, my twin brother, can come with me if he wants, but I don't want Ryan. And this lady was so disturbed by that.
The judge?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That she told my mom, in all my years, I've never one time heard a mom say, I don't want my children. Mm-hmm. And 1989, this lady gives my dad full custody and tells my mom, you're paying him child support.
Of you or of all three?
All three. Mm-hmm. In 1989.
Yeah.
So now, boom, it's done. They come home from court. They tell me about this shit. Awesome. Now we're with Dad. And that was probably the summer. So yeah, like 6 months later, he's laying down watching TV. I go to bed around midnight. I stop. I turn around. It's always different when somebody dies. You don't realize it. I turn around. I just look at him. And I go to bed. And I wake up, and my younger brother had gone to the bathroom and walked by his room and saw him laying weirdly on his bed. And he was dead. He had died, but we didn't know what was going on. And we're looking at his body, and you've probably seen it, but we didn't know that when you die, the blood settles at the bottom. So literally, you could put a horizontal line through somebody, and you could see the fleshy tone and the wine color in the skin. And we were just like, this is just devastating. I close his eyes. We call his brother, my uncle.
He's been dead for a little while.
Dead for a little while. Wondering if he yelled, wondering if anything, No. Well, when you're 16, you wonder everything. Yeah. Did he call for help? Did he anything? But the weird thing that comes crazy full circle later is there was a little bit of blood on his toe, which is so fucking weird because you don't normally see, from what they said, that from a heart attack necessarily.
Blood on his toe? What do you mean?
It was a drop, blood had come out of his mouth and dripped on his big toe.
Wait, how was he positioned? How would he get from his mouth to his toe?
So this is what we think happened. He was probably experiencing some kind of chest pain. He went to his bed. He sat down on the edge of the bed, like the side where your pillows are up here. Yeah. And then because his legs were still a little out, and he flopped back. And that's when we're thinking he went out that way.
I suppose it's possible. I don't know.
It's hard to CSI me right now.
It's hard to make much of that blood draw, but maybe he had a seizure and bit his lip and then went back.
It's a good call.
Yeah.
But I wonder if this. So weirdly later, during my shit with my daughter's mother and all the health stuff I went through, I had kidney stones. Next thing I know, both my legs are clotting. Next thing I know, they're checking me for
pulmonary embolus,
leukemia, lymphoma, scaring the shit out of me. And it turns out I have
lupus anticoagulant or something.
God, you're scaring all those names. No, I have factor 5 Leiden.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know factor 5?
Of course.
I got to wear pantyhose when I fly and shit. I'm fucking running up and down the aisles with my compression pants.
Taking aspirin and whatever.
Yeah, I take aspirin, yeah. And I start talking to these doctors, and they're like, well, this is hereditary. Everyone in your family needs to get checked.
Right.
No one has it, just me. So, and I have it from one parent, and I have it from my father. So they start talking to me about this heart attack at 42, and they tell me that technology is in such a different place than 1989. And a lot of times back then, if you were young, they ruled it a heart attack, but there's a really good chance that clot is what caused his official cause of death and not the heart attack.
So he was a pulmonary embolus and not a pulmonary embolus, you do cough up blood.
Kaboom.
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah. Possible.
Ghost coming back to haunt me. Many years later?
Good thinking.
Thank you, Dr. Drew. I appreciate that. No years of medical school.
No, well done.
Zero.
Well done.
Not even I did take human anatomy and physiology.
The thing is that when you cough up after blood after a pulmonary embolus, it's usually like a blob, not a little dot.
Like a clot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this was like a little dot?
It wasn't a dot, but I can't say it was a glob because there was so much other shit going on.
Maybe there was stuff on the carpet or something.
It could have been. There was, we heard the noises. We didn't know if we're going and getting the guy next door. Like, it was just chaos. And then they come to the home, and he's dead for a while, so the ambulance doesn't take him. Now we got to wait for the coroner to come, which you don't. And you're like, we're just sitting in this house with our dead dad. And everyone's coming in. It's got the news now, and we're zombies. Oof. So they ask us to step outside while they put him in a bag and carry him out. And I peek through the curtain and watch that. And
smart.
Yeah, I know, right? And I got a good 5-6 minutes on it though, Dr. I'm pushing 10 on it,
All right. Where did comedy get into this whole thing? Other than we're making great,
what it all is.
Great use of a body bag. What else we got? Was comedy already a part of your thing?
Yeah, that was all my dad. Just entertaining the family, making people laugh, doing characters, all that stuff was all from my dad. This is everything's childhood. Everything.
But, of course. But from your dad, you mean he was that way, you were watching that, you inherited some of that, and you used it to kind of get through all this chaos and stuff.
All the above, misery. Yeah. My dad was very funny. My dad also introduced me to Richard Pryor and George Carlin and Eddie Murphy and Saturday Night Live just on and on and on. Not even knowing really what he was doing.
But now you're 16 and you're 3 boys alone, or did mom take over, or what?
So, no, mom does not take over. So, at the time.
Because you wouldn't allow it?
No, I think, again, I'm 16. There's a lot of shit that was going on, and I think that there was
grandma and the aunt come in.
So grandma comes out and stays with us at the house from the time he passes, and then it was February. I remember exactly. And then that's when the decision came. Do we go live with her? She's right by the city, and move out of the high school we're in where all of our friends are. We don't have parents. The only thing we have is our friends. Right. Or do we go live in this 2-bedroom apartment, one of which the 3 of us share, and stay in our high school with our mom. And that was what we decided to do because there was no way we were about to start a new school when this shit goes down. We've known these people since
And did you
elementary
properly torture your mom when you got there?
No.
What? You were a good boy?
Was not a good boy.
Okay, you tortured your mom. Good.
My mom did. We did torture her,
Okay,
but my mom did the right thing and the best thing. Even though now it was fucked up at the time, but I look at it and my mom left us. My mom left us alone. She went to her boyfriend's house
a lot
and stayed Monday to Saturday.
Jesus.
And she would come home on Sunday, do laundry, and bounce. And we were left to fend for ourselves after all that. And we always thought, like, what a horrible our dad just died. Like, here's an opportunity again to start over and again and again and again, and never seeing that or embracing that. So
are you sure that wasn't like a few weeks that she did that, or that was just forever she did that?
The entire time we lived there.
And your brothers have the same memory.
Not only do they have the same memory, every kid, parents really liked us and felt for us and let their kids spend the night during the week because we all would be in school. We all did well, and they all remember it.
So they'd let you stay at their house.
I'm still no. They would let their kids stay at our place.
That does not make any sense.
Well, they did, and they're all parents now. And I say, hey, I know.
Yeah.
And I go, hey. Think back to more, and they go, fuck. No, they don't even, I don't even have to ask the question, would you let your kids fuck? No,
okay, all right, so good.
But 3.0 students, never miss school.
Good.
There every day. And I told my mom that. And the more important thing for us was we're not going to make our father look like a piece of shit, and we're not going to be statistics. We were raised right. We're going to do the right
How did
thing.
you end up getting back in touch with your mom after all this time?
At my younger brother was turning 40. It was a surprise party. I was in Baltimore doing shows. I helped set it up, and I knew I would see her there. And at that point, I'd already had my daughter, and we had still not talked. And when I walked in, I just decided to take the high road. And I walked up to her and said, would you like to see pictures of your granddaughter? And then she just started bawling. And we sat down after I got my crab cake. And then we fucking started talking and reconnecting.
Are you going to go back and do some more?
Do some more what?
Talking with her?
I have.
Oh, you have? Okay.
I mean, I've gone, I've been back. I go back every year, but now she pick us up, she'll take us around. That fucking guilt feels good. I got to tell you, it pays off in the end. She sent my daughter a Thanksgiving card. I didn't even know they fucking made Thanksgiving cards. I was like, where is that? Is that in the guilt section? It's over there with like Thanksgiving, Arbor Day cards and shit.
Just general guilt. The general guilt.
Just a general guilt. We should make a line of general guilt cards.
That's funny.
So, I asked everything, and I felt like I knew what she was doing with the I believe you, I don't remember, and I did all that, and then that's when I brought up, I said, well, do you remember going to court and telling that judge you didn't want me? She goes, I remember that. I go, okay, well, let's just take that isolated moment. If you remember that, what the fuck makes you think the shit leading up to that was good?
Yeah.
If you're saying you don't want your son to the state of Maryland. And that's when it really, she just said, I don't know what I was doing. I don't know what I was thinking. And here's the other thing. My friend's mom was like a mom to me, Miss Sandy. And she has always been one of those moms that's like, it's your mom. It's your mom. Like even my grandma, they all were just like, this is so against Mother Nature that even though they saw it and lived it, they still couldn't not say, it's your mom. It's your mom. That was always ingrained. But also my dad was always like, look, all women are not like this. Do not think women are like this. Look at the positive women in your life. Look at your grandmothers. Look at your friends' moms. Please don't think women are this way. This is an anomaly over here, really. Look at it this way. So I've tried to balance that, unsuccessfully mostly, but I still have tried to balance that.
Was your therapist a female or male?
I've had both.
Okay.
I've had a lot of them, and I've had both.
What sends you to therapy?
Well, I mean, look, I say this all the time too. Like, you are the common denominator in all your shit.
That's right.
And if you're not working on at least your shit within the shit, then it ain't gonna be shit. Okay. And it also can't just be you, but you got to show up and put the time in because, it made me realize like, oh, I learned to argue. Oh, I yell when I argue sometimes because I learned that. Someone taught me that. They didn't
also,
teach me conversation.
Not only taught you, but it becomes sort of normative, so you could go there very easily without having any sort of threshold experience. Like, that's just how we argue. What? I'm just having an argument. Isn't it? That's how you argue, right?
Yeah.
Or have conversation.
One therapist called it organizing principles. I've, imprinting, I remember from just the geese example back in school, all these things. And what I'm trying to do in every relationship in my life, whether it's personal, professional, whatever, is find out my bullshit and then work on minimizing those mistakes as much as possible and try to whittle it down to get as close to zero as possible. I know I'm never going to hit that, but if I can keep getting less and less, I'll be on. And I have over the years. And having a daughter has really helped chill me out, which I know it would. Because I was around all boys, cousins, everything. There's testosterone everywhere. Run, wrestle. So this has been awesome.
Is honeydew figuring into healing in some way?
Man, that's a great question. And the answer is yes, because even though I had, it's put a lot of things in perspective. I had a really fucked up life and upbringing, and I've sat across from people who've told me some shit that's really made me think, what the fuck am I complaining about?
Right.
And I'm like, wow. So I realized, and I mean, I always know it could always be worse, but when you actually sit in front of it and hear it and feel it, you're like, man, I might have got a little bit lucky on that. At least I had one parent that gave a shit about me and did it for as long as he did,
And you've managed to do a lot of healing.
Yeah, I'm still working on that, but I have.
It's an injury, it's an injury, and so it's always going to be a little limp or whatever. But you've had some sort of motivation or insight or ability to go after it a bit.
Yeah, I've needed to,
good,
and wanted to, yeah, for sure.
All right, we got to take a little break because I want to tell you about our friends at Candid. Now, did you know your teeth move as you get older? And if you want to get your teeth fixed, the last thing you want to do is wear braces. Man, at our age, what the hell? Or even if you're not a teenager anymore, it just is weird. Well, that's why I'm happy to tell you about Candid, the clear alternative to braces. Candid has an orthodontist who is licensed in your state. He or she creates a treatment plan for you, and even a 3D preview of what your results are going to be, what your teeth are going to look like. Candid only uses experienced orthodontics. Or the other companies use dental professionals, so-called, whatever that means. Well, these are experienced orthodontists on Candid. So once you approve your 3D preview, again, you're going to get it exactly like you want it. Candid creates custom clear aligners that will be sent directly to you. This means no hassle of having to go to an orthodontist office. Candid costs 65% less than braces. You can save thousands of dollars and have straighter, brighter teeth in an average of just 6 months. That's on average. So these are you know what these are? These are these clear fitted trays that move your teeth slowly until you get exactly where you want. You are one step away from getting straighter, brighter teeth. Learn more at CandidCo, CANDIDCO.com/Dr. Drew, and use the code Dr. Drew at checkout to get $75 off. This is a great deal. That is CandidCo.com/Dr. Drew. This is a good thing. This is an advancement. This is moving forward, everybody. So if you've been thinking about this is your chance to do it. And when you use that code Dr. Drew at checkout, you get $75 off. Now, let's get on with our show. Well, let's switch gears.
All right.
You ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Let's go to a couple voice messages, can we? And let's see what you guys have lined up for us. If you've seen this show,
I'm ready.
I'll have my hands over my face soon enough.
Hi, Dr. Drew. I'm a man for the last 7 years who has dealt with bulimia on and off again. And due to stress lately, it's come back. And I've been trying to manage it myself. Am I just being self-delusional, thinking I can manage this myself? And should I go get therapy again? Is there any chance I would be able to handle this myself? Thanks. Keep it high and tight.
Keep it high and tight. Keep it high and tight.
Got them jeans up.
We love you. Well done. Hard for me to say. The easy answer is yes. You're being silly. You should get help. It's a much like a relapse of alcoholism or anything else. You need other people to help you manage it.
He said bulimia, correct?
It's bulimia, and eating disorders function similar to addictions in terms of how you use them to regulate emotions and how people get better from them. You need other people to help you regulate.
What percentage of men versus women are bulimic?
Very unusual male bulimia.
There's
more of it these days than there used to be, but it usually suggests a more serious traumatic heritage and more serious eating disorder, and which is the other reason I'm saying, I don't know what treatment you've had. I don't know what kind of strategies you've used in the past that could work for you now. My just basic instinct is you gotta reach out to somebody, even if it's somebody who's treated you in the past, or if there's been any support groups you've had a part of. Just reach out, and you don't have to go admit yourself to a hospital again, but you need other people. Let's try another one. What do you got?
Hey, Dr. Drew. My name's Austin. I'm turning 25 in May here pretty soon, and I've got a pretty weird problem. My hygiene is great. I mean, every day I shower, wash myself, all that good shit. But when I sleep, I smell like raw sewage. I don't know what it is. My girlfriend's noticed, and I've always noticed. But every time I go to bed, it's not even really a sweaty thing, but I always wake up and the entire room smells like somebody shit under the bed and has been hiding it for a while. So if you have an answer for that, that'd be great. Thanks.
I'm guessing that's methane, that's gas, that's actually...
I think somebody actually did shit under the bed.
Maybe
and there's a
dog
bigger
or
problem.
something. Yeah, there could be, but try some Metamucil. See if that doesn't take care of it.
Stop eating
non-absorbable. Yeah, some non-absorbable bulk might help. Here's one for you, Ryan. It's called Good Morning, Julia. My problem is after my husband and I have sex, he falls asleep immediately, even if he's just woken up. However, I get energy. I feel like I just did a bump, and I stay awake for hours. You can imagine how frustrating and hard this is. Is there a reason why we have such different physical responses to sex, or a way to change it? She goes up, he goes to sleep.
I mean, that's pretty much biological, isn't it?
That is biological. I mean, that is normal.
That's 100% normal.
It is 100% normal. Women get a noradrenergic surge. Men get a serotonergic surge. So men get stimulant, men get sleep and hungry. That's the other thing, sleep and hungry.
I do. Yeah, okay, good. That is normal to get hungry like
women, that. That's why some guys like to have sex at night before they go to bed. Women, like, that's disruptive to their sleep. They can't go to sleep.
Well, I'll have sex with you. I'll bring a mini tramp.
Huh?
They can exercise.
I see a trampoline.
Just get working out.
Okay. I've had a weird phenomenon lately. I randomly get super nauseous so much that I'll run to the bathroom to puke, but then it turns just out that I just have to sneeze, and it goes away. It's called puke sneezes is the title to this. This has happened several times. I actually threw up once from it. I have pretty much constant allergies. I live in Oklahoma. I'm not pregnant, but could it be hormonal? I'm using an IUD. Could it be related? No, I don't think this is hormonal. I don't think. It is weird. She feels like she wants to vomit, and then she sneezes. Okay. So one what's that, right? You don't like the show?
First of all, sneezes feel fantastic.
They do.
The fact that you get that nauseous, watery mouth, shit, but the payoff is a sneeze, I'll trade that any fucking day.
All right. As opposed to throwing up.
Yeah, vomiting.
So sneezing happens when the vessel is dilated in the what's called the Kieselbox plexus. In the
the Kieselbox plexus.
Yeah, and that can happen from like sexual arousal. It can also happen from nausea and near vomiting, right? And then the sneezing. I don't know why the sneezing would relieve the nausea.
So there's no vomit. It's not sneeze vomit.
I'm more concerned why she's nauseous periodically. I guess that could be the IUD. I mean, people do get weird. If it's a progesterone impregnated IUD, people do get weird side effects from that. But I definitely would talk to a doctor about the nausea. The sneezing kind of makes sense to me. Recently, my girlfriend revealed that she has an orgasm during sex only. That after she has an orgasm during sex, her face, hands, and arms are completely numb, sometimes for up to 10 minutes. I'm a fourth-year medical student. I've told her that is a very common occurrence, but she does not hyperventilate. Good for him. Stays hydrated, has no history of cardiac or nerve problems, no neuropathy, blah, blah, blah. I think this is hypocalcemic tetany. No. Or related to her pH level. No. It only happens during sex when she's not alone. She's having a lot of anxiety about it now. We're both massive fans of the show. Please help. Keep your jeans high and tight. Keep doing what you're doing.
I'd say tell her to put them up in shadow box till she gets a little feeling back.
Right. So here's the deal. People do get post-orgasmic numbness and tingling. They just do. And it's just part of the, sometimes during intense orgasm, particularly for women, get a face. Yeah. Why? It's usually, in my experience, it's people that are hyperventilating. He's right to have thought about that. And by the way, she doesn't have to hyperventilate much. Sometimes it's just enough. The arousal itself will cause it. I've heard this commonly, and it's never been associated with any real pathology.
I'd be flattered if I put a woman in that kind of state.
That's exactly right. Thank you. So
good job.
It's way
to bring your A game.
Yeah, it's what Jeff, your people call a mitzvah, according to Ryan. Let's get another voice message in here.
Hey, Dr. Drew, it's Sarah.
Hi, Sarah.
First off, he beat me home here now. I just had anal sex for the first time with my boyfriend. He's a really cool guy. Just wondering if that will open up that cavern, so to speak, for a couple of days, as I've been having a lot of loose stool, and I'm just wondering when that is going to go back to normal or if it's not related. Thanks.
I guess it could be related. By the way, that'll give you numbness of the hands and feet. Heard of that?
That'd be tough to wipe, tough to wipe that loose stool.
And it also, I've heard of people being less constipated after anal sex, but I'm not familiar with loose stool per se, though it makes sense you could have some loosening of the stool, I suppose.
But I guess also if he was a monster, it would probably loosen you up.
I
for
suppose
a
up.
couple days.
And it's sort of irritating to the rectal tissue, so it makes sense to me. Again, I'm just generally advising bulk today, it seems like.
Well, the thing I've learned about anal sex from porn is it's not about what you ate today. It's about what you ate yesterday.
That's right.
So remember that, everybody.
And the porn performers I've talked to always say they do lots of enemas and stuff before they engage in that stuff. So
yeah, they know what they're getting into that day.
Literally. Been listening to you since the early days of Loveline. Thank you for what you do. I have a new phenomenon happening with a new woman I'm dating. I am put off by her general baseline smell. She doesn't smell unclean or anything. It's just her day-to-day scent. It seems like such a minor thing, but it really throws me off, especially sexually. Interesting, right? It's almost like that old guy that brought the Charmin home.
It might just be her fabric softener. You just ask her if she's using Bounce or something new, maybe some Gain or something.
I like this girl. She's fun and intelligent, but I don't think I can keep it going because of the smell thing. What is it about the smell? Is it pheromones? Yeah. Can we consciously smell those? Any advice will connect well on a lot of other levels, so I want to be kind when I break it off. It seems like really shitty to tell a person, no, do not tell her I don't like how you smell.
Yeah, you got to make something else up.
But assume that the smell is at least a biological. I mean, people have biological matching of certain types, and we are attracted to certain kinds of people. We're attracted to certain pheromones, as you said, and the smell can be a sign of certain fertility issues and immunological issues.
Really?
And matching of some types potentially, yeah.
That manifests in scent?
Yeah, well, that's what the whole pheromone thing is supposedly about. But I would say I would listen to it. Sources of attraction that are deep and profound, like sense of smell. Now, what you might do, one thing that does happen very commonly, is people can start off with an awareness of a smell that they just become used to. In other words, that just becomes her smell, and your brain will adjust to it.
And you no longer smell it.
And you never smell it, per se.
Or Vicks Vapo Rub right here under your nostrils.
Just like in Jaws.
Yeah.
Like what
that's exactly
Richard
right.
Dreyfuss did. You guys
if you love her. That, huh? I mean, if you love her, little Vicks.
But I would give it a few months, though, before I wouldn't give it
don't throw her away.
I'm a 27-year-old male ever since my now fiance and I began having sex on a regular basis, 3 to 5 days a week. 5 years ago, I began to have wet dreams on a consistent basis. During times that I go 3 to 4 days without ejaculating, more often than not, I have a wet dream. This was not all the case when I was 15 to 22. Before we got together, is this normal? When searching the internet, I see that sexual abstinence is a common cause for men of my age, but is the frequency high? Began to have wet dreams on a consistent basis. He didn't say more often than not, I mean almost every night when he's not having sex with his girlfriend.
At 22.
Yeah, 27.
Well, he said 5 years ago, though, right?
Ever since my family began 5 years ago, but he starts having wet dreams when they go 3 to 4 days without having sex.
At 27? That's really late, isn't it?
What happens is sexual activity can get your body and your testosterone levels up. And so, ejaculating, having orgasm for a male has sort of a thing where it raises testosterone and raises arousal, and then it can go down the other
side.
Sleep and
hunger.
If you do too much of it. But obviously his body has gotten adjusted to this, and God's going to take it out if you don't take it out yourself.
See, I've learned that from our podcast of listening to guys come on, and I was masturbating early, so I only had 2 wet dreams. And I remember thinking this was bullshit because we were pulled into a classroom and told all about this magic shit that was going to happen. And it was just like in the middle of the night, I was like, this is disgusting. I had to get up and clean myself.
God will take it out if you don't do it yourself.
But guys that didn't masturbate until later said they would have where they wouldn't spend the night at people's homes because they would have a wet dream.
Yes, this stuff.
I had no idea.
This is the thing about male sexuality. It comes out.
It's fucking great. Mother Nature's something else.
My name is Ivan. I live in Argentina. Can herpes exist inside a woman's asshole? Is there something lost in the translation?
Listen, man, herpes is like roaches, okay? It exists everywhere. Anywhere you can be, herpes can be.
Because I thought it was a penis-vagina interaction only, but shit just got itchy, and I'm doing great. I think there's a translation problem here. But, yeah, I mean, it can be on the external skin, too, and it can be in the mouth. So I imagine it can. I've seen it around the anus, but I've never seen it inside.
You've looked?
Yeah, I've done lots of patients.
Up in there for herpes?
I've never seen it inside. I've seen it around the anus. And by the way, and so it's possible that she had just sort of had a sore, but is still producing virus and you can't see anything. So the virus can be produced whether you see something or not. So yes.
It's dangerous out there, guys.
Anal sex, because obviously wherever let's say whoever is going in that entrance, wherever there's contact, there can be herpes. So if that person has it.
So if you don't jerk off, Mother Nature will do it for you.
God will do it for you.
God will. Okay, we'll go specific.
Yeah.
God will give you a hand job.
That's big time fan of the podcast, long time enthusiast of keeping jeans high and tight. I was recalling an episode back where you said that it's hard for some couples to stay sexually active if they're not on the same sex schedule or something to that effect. My girlfriend and I have just hit our 2-year mark, and ever since moving in together 10 months ago, our sex life has decreased to maybe once, twice a week. Twice a week, by the way, is average.
I was going to say, man, if you're out there doing shit, twice a week's good.
Right.
It's good.
I brought this to her attention on 2 separate occasions to explain my opinion and seriousness on the matter. During those times, I included that I felt that my quick trigger was caused by the lapse in sex I'm having. And she may not care about the quick trigger, by the way. She may like that. It's surprising how much women are just like actually flattered by that. Men are very worried about having, ejaculating too quickly. But some women are like, glad we got that out of the way.
I got shit to do.
Yeah. She seemed understanding, and then after 2 weeks of continuous sex, she reverted back to the old routine. Right. Since she constantly turns me down for sex, which in turn makes me not want to ask, just slap the salami, blah, blah, blah. Am I wrong to want more sex? I'm 25. She's 28. All right. This is a really common problem, which is mismatched sexual desire, which is they're having average sex, which is twice a week. He seems to want 4 or 5 times a week. That's his rhythm. Hers is, we reverted to her rhythm. And women, particularly young women, don't appreciate how much turning a man down for sex can be deeply hurt them. I mean, because we experience intimacy as men through sexuality, and to be rejecting, you've chosen this one partner to help you manage this powerful biology you're having to deal with, and it's something that you experience as this thing you need her for, and you experience your intimacy with her through that, and she's just blowing you off. That's deeply.
I feel it when you're saying it. It's so well said.
It hurts men more than women realize, because women it's just like, it's just no. You have to pay attention to your male partner. Now, you don't have to have it at the same rate that he wants it, but you have to kind of compromise. And twice a week is your rate, 5 times a week is his rate. Let's see if we can get 3 in there.
Get 3 and a hand.
3 and a half. Yeah, just to kind of work it out and realize that it's part of just keeping the relationship healthy. And I don't know what else to say than that. I'm a healthy, active 26-year-old male from the Bay Area. Hoping I get some insight into why I become sexually aroused from my own body odor. It typically is most arousing when it's fresh, but sometimes after a workout, I get a whiff of my armpit and turn it into a telescope. Sometimes...
in your mom's house, that just means that he,
get an erection. I understand the imagery.
Coit Tower. We'll call it Coit Tower since he's from San Francisco.
Sometimes women BO will turn me on, but nothing gets me quite like my own scent. Love the show. Thanks for the advice. Oh, the advice, namely, not to prolapse my anus. Thank you, Untitled. Stay United. What's that reference to? I don't know what that is.
I don't know.
That's another guy who has a lung infection that sings "Staying Alive," but it sounds like he's saying "Stay United."
And he's coughing a lot.
Yeah, actually, I think you have seen.
I think I have.
Before.
I think I have too.
I think you did diaggnose him.
Yeah, his like tuberculosis. His teeth aren't exactly great, right? As I recall.
Yep, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
And hey,
oh god.
So I do, body odor is a source of pheromones. Why your own would do it.
Have you ever heard that before?
No, I've not heard that before.
How much shit on this show is it the first time you've ever heard?
Remarkable, a remarkable bit. I feel, oh, there he is. There's my friend.
Oh, there he is.
There he is. Let's get a minute of him in here. Let's get
Stay alive.
It's no accident he's in the desert, right? It's just like that is desert rat, man.
The sands of Morocco.
And that's chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. That is COPD, everybody. That's what cigarette will do to you. Notice the skin. Listen to the
He's 36.
dulcet tones, and he's 42 years old. And so
You think he's already got his fucking toe tag around his neck?
yeah, I was wondering.
He's
what
ready
that
to
is.
go.
Oh man. Okay.
Man, look at the length of this one.
Yeah. I'm.
We got some more voice.
All right, give me a voice message.
That's a 2-pager over there.
I'm getting properly ashamed. It's all good, Ryan. It's all good. Here we
Hey,
go.
Dr. Drew. My name is Jenna. I live in Los Angeles. I just finished watching the documentary American Circumcision, and I was wondering if you thought that there was any correlation between the violence in men and, having their genitals severed when they were like babies. Your thoughts are very much appreciated. Thank you. Love you. Love your show. I've been listening since Love Line, so big fan. Love
Thank
you.
you. And thank you for the good question, and thank you for thinking about these
That
things.
is a good question, actually.
Zero correlation. I mean, think about cultures where there's no circumcision. There's plenty of male violence.
Yeah, you're right
Male
about that.
violence is not related to circumcision.
Not tied to my foreskin?
You want to make a male violent, beat him up when they're a kid. To give them a little bit of slapping around, and very quickly they become violent. It's like literally, if you wanted to make a puppy a violent dog, what the hell do you think you do? You circumcise the dog, give a shit? No, but you beat that dog up a little bit, and he'll start biting you very, very quickly. Let's get another voice message in here.
Hey, Dr. Drew, Daddy. This is
Daddy.
Big Daddy Bo. My issue is when I was little, my parents divorced, and they made me choose between either my mom or dad. And now I've noticed as I'm an adult, I have a really hard time making important life decisions.
Oh, isn't that something?
Especially when it comes to my girlfriend. I can't break up with her, or I can't decide whether or not I want to be with her or not.
Yeah.
If you could tell me if that's related or not, I'd appreciate it. Thank you, Dr. Drew, Daddy.
All right, buddy, Daddy. Bro, Dad. I can't say for sure that it is that, but it does sort of ring true, doesn't it?
It makes sense to me.
Yeah, it rings true.
100%.
And
Probably sucks at restaurants, too, just picking what he wants to eat. and
right.
shit.
He's one of those pain in the ass guys.
Yeah, like, fuck, I don't know. If I get pizza, are you going to stay, Mom? I'm sorry.
But that it sounds like a problem that would be really tough to treat, doesn't it? I mean, think about how ingrained that kind of thing would be. And he's not saying I have certain feelings or I'm re-evoked by it or I'm traumatized by it. He just can't manage this. So it's almost like he needs like exposure therapy. Like, you know what I mean?
It's a hell of a thing to put on a kid.
Oh my God.
It's a hell of a thing to put on a kid.
But there are people that specialize in OCD treatment and anxiety treatments that do exposure therapies. And I bet you this is the kind of thing that would respond to that. So it's almost like a phobia. So, all right. What else you got there?
Mark. Hey, Dr. Drew.
Hey, Mark.
I got these fucking blackheads and little, like, cyst type things
Around my penis. Balls.
around my waist
Oh, wait.
and near my taint region.
Oh, well, that's back
Of
to that
course, I am a overweight male, but I've had them ever since I was in high school. It doesn't matter how much I scrub or try to wash them every day. I just still get these little blackheads and these little white heads, ingrown hairs. Is there some type of medicational lotion, or do I have to go to a dermatologist for this? You're probably way too overqualified for this question, but
No. It's
I was
actually
just
a
thinking
question.
about it listening to your Andy Dick episode. Have a good one.
Oh, I'm glad Andy inspired. Maybe
I love that you're not overqualified to talk about taints, Dr.
The
Drew.
slide whistle maybe inspired this guy. Couple things. I doubt those are actual blackheads. They're probably some sort of skin tag.
I was going to ask, yeah.
Okay, so that needs to be dealt with by a dermatologist. But there also are this thing called recurrent furunculosis, which is sort of like recurrent hair follicle, folliculitis also. And that is caused by bacterial overgrowth, and that is something that probably should be treated by a dermatologist because they can get rather intense. And that's different than Fordyce spots, which are these little black things that can come around your penis. And
that's what you were.
Look up Fordyce spots. Fordyce. Fordyce. No, I don't want to see my calendar. There we go. Fordyce. And we can educate Ryan when he's looking around. See if
I'm gonna go.
See if you spot
explore
these. There
tonight.
you go. Okay.
Does everyone have these?
No, that's on the lips. No. No. What is this? What is it? Go back up. Right. So put Fordyce then penis. You're gonna have to do that, I'm afraid. Well, not this. There you go. That
looks like a ball bag.
Yeah, that's not really that. Anyway, there they are on that left one.
Oh, those things.
Yeah,
click on that left
more
picture.
in that zone.
Oh, that does not.
Right.
That's not an STD.
No, and it looks kind of like doesn't. I wonder if that was after laser treatment though. But they look kind of like blackheads, don't they?
Chicken pox.
Yeah, and so they can take various forms and things.
Oof.
No, that's other stuff.
Oh, we're getting down. We're getting
crazy. We're gonna gross everybody out here.
Oh man, you're gonna make me think I got every STD in the book and start looking at this shit.
There's more like 4-day spots.
And that's normal stuff right there.
Yeah, that's also might be folliculitis too. So it's hard. Again, that's why you have to see a dermatologist to sort these things out. But it sounds more like a bacterial overgrowth, and that stuff can get nasty and can abscess and stuff. So let's get another call in here. Let's do it. Come on now.
Hey, Dr. Drew, this is Valerie. I wanted to know, why is it that I do not feel as fulfilled masturbating when I don't have anything in my vagina versus when I do have something in my vagina? To take note, I'm able to fulfill myself with being an external stimulation, so vibrators, toys, what have you, but it doesn't do anything for me inside. So I don't understand. Help me out, please. Thanks.
So she's saying she needs direct clitoral stimulation to have an orgasm, but it's sort of incomplete if she's not also stimulating her vagina, which is normal. I would just call that
I would agree with that. That's normal.
That's not anything to worry about.
Don't be embarrassed about that.
No,
just fill it up and
what's hard with...
That's why they make them with two, you know? Got the rabbit and boom.
Fill it up and have at. That's the next
Fill it
t-shirt.
up and have at it.
Yeah. Fill her up. No, it's good. But women worry about themselves a lot because they share notes with their girlfriends and they note they're all a little different. So they don't feel like, oh my, there must be something wrong with me because I'm not like Sally and I'm not like June.
We're just fucking animals. Like I'm fucking tying the goddamn pull start from the push mower to the fucking thing.
Exactly right. But women are different. There's a wide spectrum of what is normal. Like women that are multi-orgasmic think that women that have difficulty having orgasm or need direct stimulation are somehow lying or haven't quite figured it out yet. No, it's just a different biology. It's just different versions out there. 23-year-old female having trouble with memory loss. I take citalopram for panic since I was a child. Ooh, and I wonder if it's causing the memory loss. Yes, the antidepressants. Well, Butrin's more the one that causes memory loss more than others, but citalopram could. But how weird that you've been on it for years and years and years. Now suddenly you're getting it.
Can I ask a question? When you say memory loss, is it different than it's creating dementia?
Well, she has to.
Or is that where it's on its way?
It goes on. She's 23.
Yeah, that's
I have a friend mentioned maybe memory is affected by my brain's response to anxiety. Could my brain be hiding memories from me so I don't feel panic and anxiety? Yeah, I mean, panic and anxiety does affect memory formation. But so does citalopram. I don't know. I would go get a proper evaluation by a neurologist or a psychiatrist to see what this might be. I think it might be time to try off the medication for a while. Be careful. There's a withdrawal from citalopram. It can be very uncomfortable, sort of electric shock feeling through your forehead and back of your neck sometimes. So you have to come up very, very slowly. And I just worry about that. Dementia, memory is a big feature of dementia. And when people age, they complain about memory stuff. And you and I both alluded to it earlier in the show that, memories, as we get older, we notice it. Most the memory loss that you have with aging initially is working memory. So you can't hold a lot of things in mind, but you can still learn new things fine.
But pills like this actually wipe out memories? You just don't allow you to access that memory?
Memory formation can be impaired. Wellbutrin's the one that's most associated with that. Let's get another voice message in here. Let's do that.
Hey, Dr. Drew, this is David from Texas. I just turned 23, and when I was 13, I started smoking weed for the first time, and it's been ever since.
Yeah.
But here's the weird thing. Every time I smoke, I have to take a shit every single time, without fail.
Oh, well.
And most of the time it happens before I even smoke. It's like the anticipation.
Right.
A little backstory on me. I feel like it has something to do with anxiety or being nervous or something. It gets really bad, like going on dates and stuff with a girl, and like we have to smoke, and then I don't say anything, and I just hold it. But whenever I was a kid, I used to have to shit or fart a lot whenever we'd be driving through storms, like with my parents.
Storm?
And I'd
Windows
get
are
in
up.
trouble because I'd be farting in the car and it'd be pouring down rain and all that. I've never met anybody else with the problem, and I would love to know why it happens, or maybe...
All right. So he has irritable bowel syndrome, really, and his problem is he has excessive methane gas. There's actually a diet for that now. You can look it up. A diet for irritable bowel. It's called like the I forget what the name of it is. It's got an acronym like FOODMORE, like FODMOR, or something like that. Look at just diet for.
So many people have problems shitting that if marijuana makes you shit regularly, then you know.
No, there's an IBS diet.
He didn't even need to smoke it. He said he
That's
conditioned
it.
himself.
I think. Well, and I think he's right. I think it's the anticipation. Food map. There it is. FODMAP. That's it. Check out that diet for irritable bowel. Also, some non-absorbable bulk, like again Metamucil. This is Metamucil day today. And realize that it probably is the anticipatory arousal associated with the thought of going to get your drug of choice, pot, that causes the. You probably salivate, you probably get heart rate goes up, and then you want to take a shit.
That's your coffee.
And that's your coffee, and it's all related to irritable bowel. And check out the Food Map diet. It's actually a really, really, really good diet. If you avoid carbohydrates entirely, you'd also be in a decent shape with this diet. Yeah, it's called fermentable oligosaccharide, disaccharide, monosaccharide, and polyols. That's what you want to avoid. Fermentable oligosaccharides, disaccharides, monosaccharides, and polyols. So good times. Sorbitol, mannitol, fructose, that kind of stuff. You want to avoid it. So that's my show, Ryan.
I love this.
Did you have fun?
I had a
good time.
I not only did I have a great time, I learned a lot.
I learned about you too. I appreciate you being so clear and open with your story.
Yeah, you're welcome.
The story is a compelling one, and there's something sort of I'm going to say a word that I don't know if you're going to like or dislike, but when you said that you haven't had it as bad as others, your story is weirdly, I experience it as weirdly homey, if that's a word that makes any sense to you, because it's just like a family story.
It is definitely,
you know what
a
I mean?
family story.
And it's dramatic, and there's some horrible stuff that happened.
Yeah, it doesn't scatter out into drug abuse and it's living in shelters and things like that.
Right. It's about this one home that somebody lived, somebody died, somebody left, somebody fucked up, and these boys sort of persevered through it.
Very well said. The Twitter version.
Yeah, but it's there's something. Oh man, I've got weird language attached to it. Comforting to the fact that you all made it in spite of some tragedy.
Yeah, I feel good.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you ended up in comedy, so it wasn't all that good,
yeah,
right?
No shit. No shit.
So, but it feels like it's the influence of your dad that pushed you through.
No doubt, and my grandmom. I family for sure.
And and comedy was sort of an interesting survival technique.
It's
right?
been therapy, 100%.
Survival more than therapy, I think.
I like it.
It's a little different, right?
It is. That's exactly why I do this podcast. If you can sit and you've dealt with it to the point where you can laugh about it, that's what it makes me appreciate comedians all over again, because it's a rare breed of people that can really sit down and laugh at their darkness,
Well, yeah, that's sort of the idea behind this podcast is expose the dark side, laugh, and look at everybody else's dark side, and then just humans are humans, and it's an interesting. I'm interested in them in whatever flavor they come in. So, Brian, thank you. Appreciate you being here, and I'll get the honeydew in here.
Thanks for having me on. Yeah, let's do it.
All right, guys, thank you so much. I'll see you next time. All conversations and information exchanged during participation of the Dr. Drew After Dark podcast or interaction on the drdrew.com website is intended for educational and entertainment purposes only. Do not confuse this with treatment or physician medical advice or direction per se. You must always follow your medical professional's advice and direction. Nothing on these podcasts or posted on this site supplements or supersedes the relationship and direction of your medical caretakers. Please understand, I am not playing the role of physician in this environment per se. I'm educating. I am a licensed physician with specialty boards in American Board of Internal Medicine and American Board of Addiction Medicine.